Good morning. Glastonbury, appalled. Absolutely appalled. To the point where I said to the kids, I don't want you watching it. I cannot, and I'm not naming the band because I just don't think they need any more publicity. I cannot believe that they were given a platform at Glastonbury, world famous music festival. They were given a platform, they were broadcast live on the BBC, and they were able to spew their hate and incite a crowd to join in with them on the world stage. It makes me sick. It actually makes me sick. This is not the country that I live in. This is not indicative of 99% of our morals. And to allow that to have happened, I mean, there is no defence. There is no justification for this. I think there needs to be a very, very urgent inquiry. I think that needs to be within the BBC. I think that needs to be within Glastonbury. I feel like the police need to be involved. How can this be allowed? And, we've got Lucy Connolly in prison for less. And we've got thousands of people at a pop concert, at a music festival, joining in with horrendous slurs. I'm trying to pick my language. I mean, it's racial hatred, isn't it? And yeah, what's happening? Where's the investigation? Where are the police? Where are we stopping this? The one good thing was that all of the political parties seem to have come together and condemned this. Nobody is saying anything other than this was absolutely disgusting. What we need to see now are the next steps. What we need to see, and pretty quickly, the next steps to shut this down and make sure it never happens again. I mean, I remind everybody that last October, a group of people were kidnapped and murdered at a music festival. And here we are in June inciting racial hatred. What is going on? And for all the musicians out there and all of the bands out there that choose these platforms to share their ideologies, their political message, they think it's cool. I don't know. And obviously to a much lesser degree than the band itself did at Glastonbury. But why? What gives you the right to do that? You're a music band. So why are we getting political? Why are we doing this? Why are we using our own platform to share this stuff? Either be a political commentator or an MP or be a musician. But it's not to say that you can't have views, but is that view appropriate to be shared on stage when you're supposed to be performing your music? Could it not be shared in an interview? And the views of this particular band need never share it again. They should never have been shared. They're disgusting. They're horrendous. They are it really did appall me. And I was so angry that Glastonbury allowed this to go ahead, that the BBC allowed this to go ahead, and where the hell were the police? Why weren't they taken right off stage? And as I say, we've got Lucy Connolly, who removed her tweet within hours and has apologised profusely for what she said, and yet she's in prison. And this lot, where are they going? And all the people that joined in, what's happening to them? This is just not who we are. This is not what this country is. And I just felt so sickened to my core. And this seems to be a thing, that we're using music festivals as a platform for sharing these horrendous messages. Why? There needs to be some form of legislation. We need to be just sharing music or not sharing music. And I know ever was thus, but it's never been this bad. It's never been to this degree. And absolutely appalled. So I boycotted Glastonbury. I mean, to be honest with you, I thought the lineup this year was crap anyway. But I boycotted it, and I will never watch it again. And they've got a long way to go to get the public back on side. They've got a long way to go to rebuild their credibility, if they can, because there were so many warnings in the lead up to this. I mean, about another band in particular, but there have been so many warnings about what these musicians might do. And yet Glastonbury still went ahead. It's not cool. it's not what people are there for. Glastonbury was building its name as a family festival. There were, in recent years, there's been so many people taking their kids, so many people involving the whole family due to the lineup. But this year, I wouldn't have gone in 100 miles of it, and I certainly wouldn't watch it on the TV. I'm genuinely disgraced. So I'm not mentioning the band. I'm not giving them any more airtime. I'm appealing to the powers that be to throw the book at them in the harshest possible way, and that this never ever happens again. It's genuinely a national disgrace.